Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make this angel stitch fingerless glove. And as you can see, it's really textured. I don't know if you've ever seen the angel stitch scarf, but this is to go with part of that set. There you go, you can see the stitches better that way. And the cool thing about this is if you reverse it, it also has this nice like ridge that seems to go through it like that, which is also pretty nice. So you can wear it either way. So for this project, you're going to need a 5mm hook or size H hook and some worsted weight yarn, 4-ply for the US and 10-ply for Australia. So we're going to start off by doing single crochet foundation stitches. Let me get a little closer for you. So what you do to do a single crochet foundation stitch is you want to start off chaining 2. And you always want to go into the lower stitch. So you're going to go into this first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through only one of the 2 loops that's on your hook, which creates the chain. And then you yarn over and pull through the other 2 loops, which creates the single crochet. So that's 1. Now again, you have the single crochet part you just did, and then there's your chain. You want to go through that chain, the bottom one, pull up a loop and repeat. Yarn over, pull through one of the loops, then yarn over and pull through 2 of the loops. And you want to repeat this until you have 25 single crochet foundation stitches. So continue that, and I'll see you back here when you have 25. Okay, I just finished with my 25. Then you want to lay it flat and then put one end to the other. You just want to make sure that there's no twist in it, because you want to slip stitch in this last stitch here by your tail. It's not actually counted as one of the stitches, so you want to slip stitch in this beginning stitch. Make sure that nothing is twisted. Then you want to chain 1, and I'm going to be working over my tail here. You want to start your angel stitches, and you should have 9 angel stitches on this row. And how we do it is you go in through the next stitch, which is this one, because this one is the one that we slip stitched into. So you're going to go into this first stitch, and you're just going to insert your hook in the stitch and pull up a loop. Then insert your hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Then insert your hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop. You've done that 3 times, and it gives you 4 loops on your hook. Then you want to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Then chain 1, and it now has created a stitch on the top here. As you can see, once you chain 1, it kind of holds these together and it creates a stitch on the top. And in that stitch, you want to put 3 single crochets. See? See, there's the 3 that you got. You pull through, and then it created this stitch on top. And in that stitch, you want to put 3 single crochets. So it's 1, 2, and 3. Now you just go right into the very next stitch, because you can see this one has yarn going in it already. So you go to the very next one, insert your hook, pull up a loop. Next stitch, insert your hook and pull up a loop. Do that for a total of 3 times through 3 stitches. giving you 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. Then chain 1, which creates the stitch on top. And then inside the stitch, you want to put 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. You just repeat this, and I'll do this next one in slow motion. Just like that. You'll continue that all the way around. You won't be skipping any stitches. You'll go all the way around. And when you get back up here and you're about ready to do your 9th angel stitch, then I'll see you back here and I'll show you how to continue. Okay, when you get to your very last angel stitch here, you have a stitch. And if you've been very careful to make sure you don't go into any other, you don't repeat going into a stitch, always make sure that you don't have an angel stitch, part of your angel stitch in a stitch. And you'll have 1, 2, and then this is your place where you connected earlier, and then you have part of the angel stitch on this side. This is one of the loops that you grabbed and started your angel stitch on this side. We're going to use that stitch. So we're going to go into this stitch, and this stitch. Those will be the 3 stitches that we'll use. We're going to skip this part here where you joined. So I'm going to go into this stitch for my first loop, then the very next one for my second loop. Then I'm going to skip this part where we joined and go right into this stitch beside my very first angel stitch. Pull through all those loops, chain 1, and then I'm going to finish my angel stitch by putting my 3 single crochets into this top stitch. Okay, so that's going to end my round. So I'm going to pull up for a moment, and I'm going to mark this one as my very first stitch of the round. When you're working around, it's always nice to have a marker. So it goes diagonally, as you can see by this. So I'll mark here, and then I'll have to count going this direction. So keep that in mind when you're counting, because we're going to have to do this for a total of 10 rows. So you've done 1 row, so you'll have to do 9 more rows. And how you do the next row is, you can see on the top of your angel stitch, you have a little bitty stitch here. Then you have a bigger stitch here. And then another stitch beside it. These are our single crochets that we did, but the very first single crochet, it's kind of small and the stitch is tight. But the following 2, this one and this one, are big enough to work, and you should be able to see them clearly. And then again, we're going to be using this stitch that is on the side of the angel stitch. It's actually made when you were drawing up loops earlier. It's the same one we used here. To end. So we're going to skip this little bitty stitch here, and we're only going to be using the following 3 stitches. So skipping 1 stitch, going to the next on the very top. So it's actually the middle of the 3 single crochets. You'll skip the first single crochet and then you go right into the next stitch, pull up a loop. Then you go right to the following stitch, which is the 3rd single crochet. And then you're going to use this big stitch in between there. Then you'll yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, chain 1, and then working in the top, you'll create the, so just chain 3 there, single crochet there. This first one is tight, but these 2 looser stitches on the top are the ones we're using right now. You won't be using this first one that you do. You're skipping this first one, and you're going right into the next 2 stitches, and then this big one that is created by beside the angel stitch. So I'll try to do this one in slow motion. And then you just finish your angel stitch as normal. And this is how you'll be working all of your rows all the way around. Always be skipping that very first little stitch there of the 3 double crochets that you did on the top. Skip the first one and then use the next 2 single crochets. And then this big hole there that's comes after. So, like I said, you've already marked your beginning here. So this counts as 1, this angel stitch, and then this one counts as 2. It'll be going diagonally, and you want to do this for a total of 10 rows. So if I got 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You do it for 10 rows, and then we'll start our thumb. So continue that for 10 rows, and I will see you back here in a moment. When you've done your 10 rows, you need to make sure from your marker here that you have, wherever you stop, you need to have 10 on this row and 10 on the next row. Okay, when you have all rows have 10 angel stitches, you just want to slip stitch in the stitch that you would normally start making your next angel stitch. Slip stitch there to end. And then you want to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then in the big space here, where you would usually end an angel stitch, you want to slip stitch. Now if you want, you can put your finger in there, and then put the chain around your finger, pull it down, and if it's not big enough, then add more chains. And if it's not snug enough, then you can go 5 stitches. I like mine at 6. So you just want to continue on. Here's where you'd start your next angel stitch. So I'm going to go into that next stitch. 1, grab my 2nd and my 3rd, and create my next angel stitch as normal. Then you want to continue your angel stitches all the way around until you get back up to here before your thumb, and then I'll show you what you need to do. Okay, this is my thumb here, and this is my angel stitch before my thumb. I'm going to go in, do my angel stitch as normal. I should say I'm going to start it as normal, but once I pull through all 4 loops and chain 1, then I'm not going to do my 3 single crochets there. I'm going to go into my first chain on my thumb here, and I'm going to single crochet across my chain. See, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the single crocheted in each chain of my 6 chains I made earlier for my thumb. Then you're going to continue as normal. You're going to skip this stitch here, and you're going to go right into where you would start your next angel stitch. Then you continue your angel stitches all the way around again until you get back up to your thumb here. Then I'll show you what you need to do. Okay, I just did my angel stitch above here, and this is where the half angel stitch that we had from the previous row. See, it's just not worked with the 3 single crochets on top. And we're going to skip this stitch. We're going to go right into our first chain from our thumb and do a single crochet. Now we have 5 more chains left. The next 2 stitches I'm going to do a decrease. So I'm going to go in through 1, pull up a loop, the next pull up a loop, pull through all 3 loops. That's 1 decrease. Now using the next 2 single crochets, I'm going to do another decrease. Now I have 1 chain left. I'm going to single crochet into my last chain of my thumb. Then I'm just going to continue as normal, starting into my next angel stitch. And then just continue your angel stitches all the way around till you get back up to your before your thumb again. Okay, I've reached back up to my thumb again. This is the very last angel stitch before my thumb. So I'm going to go in the 2 single crochets on the top of the angel stitch as normal. Then I'm going to this first single crochet and then do my angel stitch. And then the next 2 stitches here, there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These next 4 stitches we're going to be doing decrease, decrease. So I'm going to go in through 1, and going through the first 2, do a decrease. Then I'm going to go using the second 2, do a decrease. So decrease, decrease. And then continue your angel stitches as normal for this round till you get back up to your thumb area here again. I'm back up above my thumb. Here's my thumb. Just finished my last angel stitch, and I have these 2 spaces here before my next angel stitch starts here. What I'm going to do is go in and do a decrease for these last 2 stitches, single crochet decrease. Now, instead of going right in and starting your next angel stitch, I want you to go into that same stitch like you would normally do an angel stitch, but I want you to do a single crochet. I want you to single crochet all the way around, still skipping this little small stitch. You'll still only be working in those same stitches where you were doing your your angel stitches in, except now you're going to be putting one single crochet in each of those stitches. So I'm working all the way until I get back up to my single crochet, my first single crochet decrease that I did above my thumb. Which is here. I'm going to go ahead and put a single crochet in that first stitch, and then put it on and see how it fits. And I like it. I usually like my hand to be gripped a little tighter here around the fingers. I'm going to count my stitches: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, good. 20 is what I like. So, like I said, I like mine to be snugger on my fingers. But if you don't, then maybe back here don't do as many decreases. But I like to have 20 stitches here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my marker from my bottom here. And I'm going to mark my first stitch up here. And I want to do a total of 4 single crochet rows. So I've already done 1. So I want to do 3 more rows of just single crochet. And you have your marker here, so go around 3 more times until you have 4 rows of single crochets. Okay, I just finished my 4 rows, my single crochets. Now you want to put the glove back on. See if you like the way it fits. I like mine. Covers right up here to the knuckles. If you want it to go longer, then feel free to add a few more rows. But I like mine to come up to at least here so that I at least have movement on my knuckles, but as much glove as I can covering. So it's perfect for me. I like it. So I'm going to end my row by going in. I'm going to skip this next stitch here, and I'm going to go right into the next stitch just to try to make this more even here. And then I'm going to slip stitch, chain 1, and then you want to cut your yarn. Sorry, my stuff in my yarn here. The scissors is hiding from myself. Okay, cut your yarn, and then you'll get a tapestry needle and you'll work this into your glove. Now you want to turn your glove over to the other side. This is the single crochet foundation stitch that we did at the beginning. You want to put your slip knot back, and then it doesn't matter where you start, but you're going to be working into the single stitch at the bottom here. I'm going to do a single crochet attachment like that. Then I'm going to be working over my tail. Then I'm going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches, and then I'm going to do a decrease. And I'm going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to do a decrease. Repeat this all the way around, depending on how tight you want it on your wrist. I like to have it snug enough to where not No air is going to get in there. So that's 5, and then I'm going to do another decrease. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to wait here real quick because there is a stitch here, but it has one in it. Don't want to end my round until I'm sure I like how snug it is on my wrist. So it's pretty snug. And keep in mind when you're doing your next rows of single crochet, it will tighten it a little bit more. So if it's okay snug against your wrist where there's not any, it's hard to show because the camera's above, there's not any holes, it's fit around your wrist, snug, then it's good enough. But if you still feel like it's loose here, you're going to get air inside, and I would recommend back up and do a few more decreases. But I'm a bit overweight, so my wrist is thicker, so it's fine for me, but it may not be fine for you. So you may want to back up and do a few more decreases until it fits nice and snug, not too tight, just snug. Anyway, once you're happy with it, then you just want to start single crocheting in each stitch around. You did 4 rows here on the top, so you want to match that and do 4 rows here. You've already done 1 row, so you need to do a total of 3 more rows. And again, when you get done with your rows here, try it on. Make sure it's not too tight once you've done your single crochets, because this is the time where you can adjust how tight that it fits here. But you do want it to be snug enough to where no air will get in, but not too tight against your wrist to cut off the circulation. You just want it to be comfortable. When you have it, you like it, then again, I'm going to skip 1 stitch and then go into the next just like we did before. Do my slip stitch and chain 1, cut my yarn. And then you'll work in this tail as well. And the cool thing about this glove, like I showed you before, is that it's completely reversible. So if you get sick of that look and you want another look, just turn it inside out. And then you can have a completely different look, one that's got kind of a, flow going this direction with the ridges. So it's got ridges going on it on this side. So it's got 2 different looks. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you did, please don't forget to click like, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.